welcome to Timeball Games. I'm ELD, here to ask you for help in growing the channel. When we reach 2,500 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away a custom leather playmat to one lucky subscriber, so be sure to like and subscribe. Hello and welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering from ELD's Timeball Games in Bellingham, Mass. Here I'm actually on camera. A fairly rare event. Usually I'm too busy running the tournament, but if we get like exactly 9 people or something, sometimes I'll jump in to make an even number if it's not too full a house. And I'm on Dredge here versus Mark the Goblin King, sporting that playmat that he won at the Pauper Open, of course, playing Goblins there as well. And it looks like there's a mana confluence in hand, so this is going to be a mana'd version of Dredge. We'll see how this fares against the little green men. There's an awful lot of things that can go wrong when you play against Dredge. You can ignore so many different lines of disruption. It really is a race most of the time. Now he does have ways that he can interact with Bridge from below, which could be very good ways of sacrificing goblins. Anything from Mog Fanatic, Skirk Prospector, Sling Gang Lieutenant, Siege Gang Commander, Gem Palm incinerating his own guys. I don't believe you can munitions expert your own guys. I think that's actually just opponent's creatures. So that is perhaps a accidental way that goblins, or that munitions expert is not strictly better. And it looks like a turn 1 land go lackey for Mark. And now a Cephalid Coliseum, with the potential for a breakthrough for 1. Be able to keep a card. And it's going to be 2 points of damage off of that mana base. That's not usually how you want to do this. Typically, Breakthrough wants to be played when you've already got Dredgers in the graveyard. That is not the case here. However, next turn, Cephalid Coliseum could be extremely good if Mark doesn't have a Wasteland to stop it. Doing a quick check here. I'm, of course, at the store. Somebody walking by. Looks like they may have wanted to come in. If you do want to visit the store, it is appointment only for now until we can get tournaments up and running. A Goblin Lackey coming across. No blockers likely. Outside of a cycled Street Wraith. Just as I was going to say, outside of a cycled Street Wraith into something like a Narcomoeba. Oh, how fun. Look at this. Narcomoeba surprise blocker. Does Mark have a way of taking down this Narcomoeba? Even if he does, we might have a Bridge from below in the graveyard. I can't quite make that out. There is a trade. And it looks like no bridges, though. So no bridges were lost with the killing of that Goblin Lackey. Just shenanigans there. We got a Stinkweed Imp coming back. And now another one. All of this because of the Cephalid Coliseum being sacrificed. This Icarid trigger still on the stack. And a little underwhelming in terms of things that could have went right there. That's a huge chunk of the graveyard. Now draw step. It's going to be Golgari Grave Troll. Icarid. Nice hasty threat. We've got Cabal Therapies and some bridges now. And this zombie tribal deck could very well get an impressive board presence real fast. Perhaps thinking through whether or not it's best to just Cabal Therapy. And it actually is going to be an immediate therapy to ensure getting a crack at that hand. And Matron, War Chief, and Goblin Chieftain get to witness this Hagak coming in and then being sacrificed to a Cabal Therapy. And now convoking out Hagak another time. So this is a pretty brutal turn here. So Hagak teaming up with Cabal Therapy and Bridge from below to not only knock Mark's hand down a notch, but also create just a ridiculous board state. You got an 8/8 Hagak along with a bunch of 2/2 zombies, and that is just too much to handle here, especially pre-board. We'll see how prepared Mark is for this type of matchup. Dredge, a really interesting deck in so many formats that it's been legal in. Of course, there's been formats where they've banned cards aggressively to prevent it from being a menace. In Vintage, you've got Bazaar of Baghdad, and that card just takes the deck to a whole new level. And in Legacy here, we've got Lion's Eye Diamond, Cephalid Coliseum, Breakthrough, just a whole bunch of powerful tools. Really broken plays can be made, and that graveyard is such a useful zone for this deck. It's not like drawing 6 cards when you dredge with a Golgari Grave Troll, but it's similar. I mean, it's not exactly as useful as drawing 6. A lot of the time you're hitting your lands and things that don't have any value going to the graveyard, but it's an incredibly big bonus every time that you're replacing your draws with those big dredges, to the point where in Vintage, Golgari Grave Troll actually restricted now. We've got a Gemstone Mine facing off against a double Leyline, double Aether Vial. Now, I don't know if this is before or after Modern Horizons. Force of Vigor, an incredibly potent card. So far, one of these Leylines has been taken out. And we're just going to keep the Exile Zone over on the right-hand side. Gotta find another way to get rid of a Leyline. There's a Cephalid Coliseum there, which can provide for an explosive boost. Oh, wow. The other piece of enchantment removal already found. It looked like a Nature's Claim, allowing for some life gain. Lion's Eye Diamond. And now Mogg War Marshal coming in. Have to let him go. Swinging for 1. We've got a Vial on 2 and 3. And now Dredge cracks Lion's Eye Diamond during the end step. Draw step, dredging Golgari Grave Troll. That turns on Cephalid Coliseum. And that is what we see here. It's going to be an awful lot of cards going into the graveyard. We see some Cabal Therapies. We see Hagak. There's a Narcomoeba. Some Bridges could allow for a very similar line that we saw game 1. Here comes the Narcomoeba. And Mark stands up to take a good look at that graveyard and see what type of lines he has available. He's got a Violet 2 and 3, as well as 2 mana open. He uses Matron. Now this could go get a 2 casting costs Goblin to Vial in. That could be Goblin Crater Maker, and that's exactly what it is. So Crater Maker comes down and now sacrifices, probably to destroy this Narcomoeba. That'll get rid of the bridges beforehand. Ooh, but only 1 bridge. So let's see here. Narcomoeba is in play. Very interesting. I'm not sure what that Crater Maker targeted. I think he targeted himself. So that, I think that's a little bit of a rules error there. as far as Mark's understanding, if you sacrifice the Goblin Crater Maker targeting the Narcomoeba, it's not actually both triggers going on the stack at the same time. The Goblin Crater Maker would be in the graveyard on top of the Bridge from Below trigger would be on top of the doing 2 damage. So that actually would have worked out just fine in terms of taking care of this Narcomoeba. Munitions Expert eventually comes down and takes it out. And now we've got a pair of Icarids coming in, which can bring in Hagak. There's a Narcomoeba. Sacrifice Cabal Therapy. Narcomoeba being sacrificed to power out this therapy. Sees a Goblin Surgeon. And that is taken from the hand. And now Hagak coming in. It's a big body. Will this be enough? End step, that Icarid dies, gets another 2/2. There's a lot of cards that could come off the top that would be big problems. $26 life, an awful lot. A game where Mark has had 2 ley lines to start out. Finding answers with Dredge. Single card off the top of the deck. Could turn into just about anything. A Matron or a Ringleader could be incredibly powerful. Of course, Sling Gang Lieutenant can swing many games. However, Bloodstained Mire, not one of those cards that's going to make a bit of difference in this scenario. Mark unable to turn his guys sideways, instead has to watch as these Icarids come back. And now a Dredging for 4. I don't know if I agree with that decision. Maybe less cards in the library than it looks. Hagak and Icarids turning sideways. No blocks, I'm surprised. Oh, I see. Wow. Golgari Thug actually being put in for the dies trigger. When he dies, we'll be able to put a card back on top of the library. And that is going to do it. So Dredge able to go wide around the Goblin army. Just a horde of zombies holding things down while Hagak and Icarid get in there for the damage. And man, do I miss playing Magic. That is all for this one. But don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.